Good morning. My name is Sean Anfinson and welcome to Murfreesboro Morning. All the rain today made for mile after mile of traffic crashes. In Hickman County, a 20-year-old woman dies in a chain reaction of events on I-40. Traffic had already slowed when a woman in a car ran into the back of a tractor trailer. Another truck hit her car and landed on top of it. Both caught fire. Farther up the road in Benton County, 5 tractor trailers tangled up with 3 cars. The pileup shut down the interstate for several hours. No one died, but one driver went to a Nashville hospital. A Montgomery County man already charged with rape is facing 99 additional counts. Authorities arrested Richard Spencer yesterday. The charges relate to sexual acts involving a 16-year-old girl in January and February of last year. Police first arrested Spencer last August, but the victim was able to give more details about what happened. That led to additional charges. If the Maury County Commission approves a new budget, teachers could be in line for a raise. Our news exchange partners at the Columbia Daily Herald report the school board approved a budget totaling about $157 million. It includes a 3% raise for teachers. It would also add more than a dozen teachers and 2 nurses to the payroll. The county commission has the final say. It's never easy to know if your kids are eating right when you're not with them. But a new program is making it easy for parents in Clarksville to keep track of their eating habits. Schools in Clarksville and Montgomery County are using a news online service called Meal Pay. Parents can keep track of what foods their kids buy and make deposits into their child's account from the website or by phone. We've been hearing a lot about thieves stealing copper. In Shelbyville, they're going after other types of scrap metal too. Police have investigated 3 metal thefts within the past week. In one case, the thief took $1,500 worth of steel, including pipes and tubing, from a man's workshop. A fire in a chemical plant in Humboldt forced 700 workers and other residents to evacuate this morning. A lightning strike started the fire around 6 o'clock at the Helena Chemical Company. It burned all day. The company makes agricultural, chemical, seed, and fertilizer. No one was inside the building when the fire started. The final chapter was written in the Da Vinci Code legal battle. 2 authors sued Random House, the publisher of the blockbuster novel, claiming author Dan Brown stole their ideas from a book they wrote back in 1982. But today, the judge said the material in that original book was actually historical research and copyright laws don't apply. Dan Brown admitted to studying the other book, but not copying it. And that's all the news we have for you today. Now let's toss it over to Amira Alkiyami interviewing actor Brad Oxnan about his upcoming play. Amira?
Thank you, Sean. As he mentioned, I'm here with Professor of Theater and professional actor Brad Oxnan, who is starring in the upcoming play Mrs. Bob Cratchit's Wild Christmas Binge at the Boiler Room Theater located in Franklin. Brad, that's an interesting title. Tell us about this play.
Sure. The play is a comic spoof on A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. We start the same way. Scrooge, a miserly old man, needs to learn about Christmas. So the ghosts, who in the original are 3 separate ghosts, are now played by one spirit 3 separate times. He starts going on this journey through his past, but somewhere along the way, we lose that story and we focus on Mrs. Bob Cratchit, who unfortunately is basically depressed, fed up with her life, and decides that she's going to drink herself to death and go jump off London Bridge.
Oh, wow. Sounds like some interesting characters. So tell me a little bit more about your character.
Well, I play Mr. Bob Cratchit, and he's just like Charles Dickens wrote. He's the nice guy. He's sort of the person who embodies the Christmas spirit. But we take him to the extreme. He's overly nice. He is always bringing home children. They have 20 of them in their house on a pitiful salary of 11 shillings a week, which is very, very small in that time period. They have so many children, they keep them in the root cellar. That's how bad it is. And he just keeps bringing home more. Other characters are Tiny Tim, who in the original, he's a little 3-year-old child. We have a 6'3", 25-year-old guy playing it. It creates some very interesting bits for comedy.
Sounds like it. So sounds like there's some interesting contrast going on there.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about your acting experience.
Well, I've primarily done a lot of stage, but I have done a few student films, a few commercials here and there. But my true passion is both stage work and teaching here at MTSU. So I've been really proud of my students that I've had here in the past 5 years.
Great. Okay, tell me a little bit more about the classes here at MTSU.
Sure. Well, we offer a wide variety of courses. The ones that I teach specifically, I teach theater appreciation, which of course is a general ed requirement, acting for the non-theater major, which, as the title implies, if you don't major in theater, you can come and learn the basics of acting, especially if you're a theater minor. You can then continue on in the program. We have other classes that we offer: stage movement, voice for the actor, several production classes. And then we kind of sum it up. I teach Acting 4, which is basically Shakespeare, Greek, and French neoclassicalism, just learning how to stylize your performance.
Okay, that's great. Sounds interesting. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We're going to throw it back to Sean, who has a little musical treat lined up for us.
I'm here with Sergeant Don Dixon, a singer-songwriter. And Don, you have a song you're going to play for us today, am I correct?
Yes, sir. We're going to do a little bluegrass number that was performed on the Andy Griffith Show back in the 1960s called Dooley.
All right, well, take it away.
Thank you. Dooley was a good old man. He lived below the mill. Dooley had 2 daughters and a 40-gallon still. One gal washed a boiler and the other washed a spout. Mama corked up bottles, no Dooley'd fetch 'em out. Now Dooley slipping up holler, Dooley trying to make a dollar. Dooley, give me a swallow and I'll pay you back someday. Well, the revenuers came for him, slipping through the woods. Dooley got behind them all, he never lost his goods. Now Dooley was a trader, and into town he come. Buy sugar by the bushel and molasses by the ton. Now Dooley slipping up holler, Dooley trying to make a dollar. Dooley, give me a swallow and I'll pay you back someday. I remember very well the day old Dooley died. Women all felt sorry, the men sat around and cried. Now Dooley's on the mountain and he lets her all alone. Put a jug beside him and a barrel for a stone. Now Dooley slipping up holler, Dooley trying to make a dollar. Dooley, give me a swallow and I'll pay you back someday.
Thank you so much, Don. That was beautiful. So, bluegrass, how long have you been playing bluegrass music?
Oh, I hadn't been in bluegrass really that long, probably about 8-10 years.
18 years.
8 or 10, yeah.
Well, it's interesting because I'm actually seeing a bit of a Jimi Hendrix influence with your guitar here. It's strung upside down and turned around, left-handed.
Yeah, it's a right-handed guitar. I just play my chords upside down. Yeah.
All righty.
Well, my dad was right-handed, and I used to sneak his guitar to learn, so
okay.
That's what got me going.
All righty. And do you write songs of your own as well?
I do.
Okay. What sort of inspires your songwriting?
Just about anything, really. You know, just whatever hits you. Sometimes it just comes out.
Yeah. And is there a particular artist who's really influenced you?
Not really. I like all types of music. I like rock and roll, what I started in, country, Merle Haggard. Got off into the bluegrass scene. I just like all forms of music.
All righty. Well, tell me a little bit about how you discovered your sort of love for bluegrass in particular.
Well, I'm kind of a child of the 60s, 70s Beatles era, and when I started playing rock and roll. My dad was a country player, and me and him kind of fought and battled over music for my upbringing.
Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thanks, sir.